Okay, do not, one, you have to go to a proper lab for a VO2 max to be accurate. You're really talking like a university kind of level. Two, with a VO2 max, what it's telling you is like how much oxygen you can actually use. So it's useful to have, but it's not accurate in terms of our training. When we're using lactic threshold, and I'm talking about the zones, we're corresponding. When we start going anaerobic, we start using a different energy system to aerobic. So that's what the lactic threshold is doing. And we're getting the data of how your lactic is going relative to those energy systems. Do not let people convince you to get a VO2 max test. It's not needed, because what they have to do then is it's called ventilatory threshold. So they're basing on your breathing what they think the lactic level would be, and then with the heart rates. So you can get zones off a VO2 max, but it's not the same as taking in and breathing out. So it's an important thing to know. It's not important, it's just one of the things that makes good running performance. But in terms of like using the information, they have to then take, as I said, the ventilatory threshold, taking like, okay, how much he was breathing at certain stages, and map it back to a lactic. So what they've done is in test, and what they'll do is someone will be using the mask, someone will be getting a lactic, so from their blood, and they'll be mapping those together. And they've done that for a lot of people. So it is a way of doing it, but it's not as accurate, because it's just taking like, what are the averages? Like what would be someone's VO2 when they're at that stage compared to lactics, and working it out. So it's like, why you're paying the same money or maybe more to like to have it, like, you may as well just use your watch. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
And I see it so much. People are like, I've done it. I've booked in lactic tests. I had a guy recently. I had to get him to come down to Kilkenny, because it's like, yeah, did it. They did my lactic. They did my VO2. I'm like, and
Yeah.
now I'm telling you, like, that's basically useless. Get the lactic test instead. Just do the hip mobility one. And the other thing is that can be actually like a lack of strength. So like bringing your knee as high as you can, pulling it up with your arms. So go this way. So pulling it up like that, and then letting it go and holding the leg. Don't let the leg drop. So pull up, hold for like say 5 seconds, and then pull up. That'll get that inner hip range. I would probably do some activations like that just before I went out to run, and see if that helped. The other way it can be your legs can be just tired, getting used to that. So I wouldn't overly worry about it. Okay, great. Okay, I'm going to do a few of these because I wanted to do this for a good while. So Joe Warren, good friend. I'm a good friend. He's not like you probably say I don't like that guy. So he did one of like 12 suggestions, 1 to spice up your training routine and help you get the most out of your running. And when someone does an article, you're like, I wish I came up with that. So I'm just going to like rip it off him. So I would say, especially for calves, if you have any like calf or shin splinty issues, super shoes are great. Just be careful with like high hamstring tendons. That can be an issue then. Allowing you to keep the training volume while minimizing muscle fatigue on those harder runs. The unquestionable performance advantages as we're considering for any serious athlete. If you can get over the price tag, you should have super shoes.